Come on. Can we get to the button? Okay, there we go. That's wobble, Tiffany, that's wobble. Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Put my notes together here. All right. Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Let me go ahead and pull this shimmer up. Oh, the song I was singing, Breathe Into Me. I wake up singing that song in the morning while I'm on the treadmill. I just put it on repeat, at least for the last few days. I done had that song on repeat. I love that song. Okay, let's pull this up here. Come on. This. Okay, where is my... Greetings. Okay. Deuteronomy 6. Okay. Yeah, I really have to have something a lot faster for the mornings I had this pulled up. I let Josh play games up here last night, and of course he goes through and doing his thing, but he'll shut everything down. Okay. All right, beautiful people. Happy Sunday. I hope you all enjoyed your day yesterday. I know it was Saturday, but most people are off of work. I ain't gonna say most. A lot of people are off because it's Saturday, But anyway, I hope you enjoyed your day. Today, it is Sunday, December the 20th, guys. We got like 11 more days, and we're going to be in 2021. It is Sunday, December the 20th, 2020. Look, 2020. December the 20th, 2020. Day 29 of year 3 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets. Another 3-year consecutive day count. Day 698. Yes, 698. Today, we are going to be reading Enoch 58 through Chapter 61. So let's go ahead and do the shema. Hear, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as Yahuwah, the God of thy fathers, has promised thee, in a land that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah our God, he is one God. And thou shalt love Yahuwah thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, or action, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes, as in your thoughts. You think and you do, and you meditate upon these, right? Sign upon thy hand, and as a frontlet between thy eyes, action, and even in thoughts, right? That's what that means. And thou shalt write them upon the post of thy house and on thy gates. And Yahuwah commanded us to do these statutes, to fear him for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuwah our God, as he has commanded us. All right, beautiful people. So let's go ahead and get started with our reading on Enoch chapter 58. Enoch chapter 58. In those days, my eyes beheld the secrets of the lightnings and the splendors and the judgment belonging to them. They lighten for a blessing and for a curse, according to the will of Yahuwah Sabaoth. And there I saw the secrets of the thunder, when it rattles above in heaven, and its sound is heard. The habitations also of the earth were shown to me. The sound of the thunder is for peace and for blessing, as well as for a curse, according to the word of Yahuwah Sabaoth. Afterwards, every secret of the splendors and of the lightnings was seen by me. For a blessing and for a fertility they lighten. Enoch chapter 59. In the 500th year, and in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month of the lifetime of Enoch, in that parable I saw that the heaven of heavens shook, that it shook violently, and that the powers of El Elyon and the angels, thousands and thousands and myriads of myriads, were agitated with great agitation. And when I looked, the Ancient of Days was sitting on his throne of glory, while the angels and the Kodeshim, or the holy ones, were standing around him. A great trembling came upon me, and terror seized me. My loins were bowed down and loosened. My mind was dissolved, and I fell upon my face. The holy Michael, another holy angel, one of the holy ones, was sent, who raised me up. And when he raised me, my spirit returned, for I was incapable of enduring this vision of violence, its agitation, and the concussion of heaven. Then the holy Michael said to me, "Why are you disturbed at this vision? Hitherto has existed the day of mercy, and he has been merciful and long-suffering towards all who dwell upon the earth. But when the time shall come, then the power, the punishment, and the judgment which Yahuwah Sabaoth has prepared for those who prostrate themselves to the judgment of righteousness, for those who abjure that judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day has been prepared for the elect as a covenant, and for sinners as an inquisition." Let me read that again, because some people, when they talk about the day of judgment coming, and I think we are truly nigh into that day, and I know people have been saying for ages and ages, and it's like, you know what, time goes on and the same things happen. What are you talking about? I'm going to live and I'm going to die. I used to believe that. But now, as I live my life, I really think, I don't know, something is going to happen in our day. That's what I truly believe. Something is definitely going to happen in our day. And if it truly is the day of judgment, the day of Yahuwah Sabaoth, the great and terrible day of Yahuwah himself, when he makes his presence known here upon the earth, listen, he said, for the righteous, it will be as a covenant unto them. And for the sinners, it's going to be terrible. Listen, that day has been prepared for the elect as a covenant, and for the sinners as an inquisition. It's called the great and terrible day of Yahuwah, because it's great for those who have been walking in holiness and righteousness as much as you possibly can, keeping a pure heart. You're not saying we're going to make mistakes, but those who are truly following after Yah and strive to live a good and peaceful life and not purposely do what's wrong, it's going to be the great day for us. But it's going to be the terrible day for those that out there willy-nilly. The great and terrible day of Yahuwah is going to be great for me. I pray it's going to be great for me and my household and all that I love and all who extend from us. May it be the great day of Yahuwah for us. That day has been prepared for the elect as a covenant, and for the sinners as an inquisition. And that day shall be distributed two monsters, a female monster whose name is Leviathan. Remember, we talked about Leviathan, dwelling in the depths of the sea above the springs of waters, and a male monster whose name is Behemoth, which possesses on his breast the invisible wilderness. His name was Dindayin in the east of the garden, where the elect and the righteous will dwell, where he received it from my ancestor, who was a man from Adam, the first man whom Yahuwah Sebawoti made. Then I asked of another angel to show me the power of those monsters, how they became separated on the same day, one in the depths of the sea and the one in the dry desert. And he said, You, son of Adam, are here desirous of understanding secret things. And the angel of peace who was with me said, These two monsters are by the power of Elohim, prepared to become food, that the punishment of Yahuwah may not be in vain. Then shall children be slain with their mothers, and sons and their fathers. And when the punishment of Yahuwah Sebawoti shall continue, upon them shall it continue, that the punishment of Yahuwah Sebawoti may not take place in vain. After that, judgment shall exist with mercy and long suffering. Enoch Chapter 60. Then another angel who proceeded with me spoke to me and showed me the first and last secrets in heaven above and in the depths of the earth, in the extremities of heaven and in the foundations of it, and in the receptacle of the winds. He showed me how their spirits were divided, how they were balanced, and how both the springs and the winds were numbered according to the force of their spirit. He showed me the power of the moon's light, and its power is a just one, as well as the division of the stars according to their respective names. Every division is divided, that the lightning flashes, that its troops immediately obey, and that a cessation takes place during thunder in continuance of its sound. Nor are the thunder and the lightning separated, neither do both of them move with one spirit, yet they are not separated. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder sounds, and the spirit at a proper period pauses, making an equal division between them. Y'all ever pay attention to a thunderstorm? What do we hear first? What did I just say? We hear the thunder, we see the lightning. Oh, we see the lightning and thunder. I forget. Let me read this again. But there's always, I think it's I forget. I haven't heard a thunderstorm in a while, but you notice there's always a pause between the two. This is what it's talking about. Listen. That its troops every division is divided, that the lightning flashes, that its troops immediately obey, and that a cessation takes place during thunder in continuance of its sound. Nor are the thunder and the lightning separated, neither do both of them move with one spirit, yet they are not separated. For when the lightning lightens, the thunder sounds, and the spirit at a proper period pauses, making an equal division between them. For the receptacle upon which their periods depend is as sand. Each of them at a proper season is restrained with a bridle and turned by the power of the Spirit, which thus propels according to the spacious extent of the earth. The spirit likewise of the sea is potent and strong, and as a strong power causes it to ebb, so is it driven forward and scattered against the mountains of the earth. The spirit of the frost has its angel. In the spirit of hail there is a good angel. The spirit of snow ceases in its strength, and a solitary spirit is in it, which ascends from it like a vapor, and is called refrigeration. The spirit also of mist dwells with them in their receptacle, but it has a receptacle to itself, for its progress is in splendor, in light and in darkness, in winter and in summer. Its receptacle is bright, and it is an angel. So if you haven't picked it up, it's going through all the different things that we see happen in nature: the snow, the wind, the hail, the frost, all those things. Each of them are located in different receptacles or different departments in heaven, and they have their proper times in which they are released, right? In light and in darkness, in winter and in summer. Its receptacle is bright, and it is an angel. The abode of the spirit of dew is in the extremities of heaven, in connection with the receptacle of rain, and its progress is in winter and in summer. The cloud produced by it and the cloud of the mist become united. One gives to the other, and when the spirit of rain is in motion from its receptacle, angels come, and opening its receptacle, bring it forth. When likewise when likewise it is sprinkled over all the earth, it forms a union with every kind of water on the ground. For the waters remain on the ground, and nourishment to the earth as nourishment to the earth from El Elyon, who is in heaven. Upon this account, therefore, there is a regulation in the quantity of rain which the angels receive. These things I saw, all of them, even paradise. And if you guys don't know, El Elyon is another name for Yahuwah. So if you hear it changing out the name, it's just giving the different names of the Most Holy. Just like we say, oh, the Most High, the Most Holy, Yahuwah Sabaoth. It's the same person, just depending on what they're describing a different attribute when they call him by a different name. And I'm glad I said that, because that connects to our reading today as we begin to talk about his attributes. Oh, it's so good, y'all. We almost done. We'll hop right to it. These things I saw, all of them, even in paradise. Okay, last chapter for reading here is Enoch Chapter 61. In those days I beheld long ropes given to those angels who took their wings and fled, advancing towards the north. And I inquired of the angel, saying, wherefore have they taken those long ropes and gone forth? He said, they are going forth to measure. The angel who proceeded with me said, these are the measures of the righteous, and the cords shall the righteous bring, that they may trust in the name of Yahuwah Sabaoth forever and ever. The elect shall begin to dwell with the elect. And these are the measures which shall be given to belief, and these shall And these are the measures which shall be given to belief, and shall strengthen the words of righteousness. These measures shall reveal all the secrets in the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed in the desert, and who have been devoured by fish of the sea and by wild beasts shall return and trust in the day of the elect one. For none shall perish in the presence of Yahuwah Sabaoth, nor any be capable of perishing. Then they received the commandment in all the heavens above, to whom a combined power, voice, and splendor like fire were given. At first, with voice, they blessed him, they exalted him, they glorified him with wisdom, and ascribed to him wisdom with the word and with the breath of life. Then Yahuwah Sabaoth, seated upon the throne of his glory, the elect one, who shall judge all the works of the holy in heaven above, and in a balance shall he weigh their actions. And when he shall lift up his countenance to judge their secret ways in the word of the name of Yahuwah Sabaoth, and their progress in the path of righteousness, judgment of El Elyon, they shall all speak with a united voice and bless, glorify, exalt, and praise in the name of Yahuwah Sabaoth. They shall call to every power of the heavens, to all of the holy above, and to all the power of Elohim, the cherubim and the seraphim and the ophanim, all the angels of power, and all the angels of Yahuwah, namely of the elect one, and of the other power, who was upon the earth over the water on that day, shall rise, and their united voices shall bless, glorify, praise, and exalt with the name of Yahuwah. Hold on. It says, I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot to translate these these Hebrew words. Okay, bear with me for a second. And they shall raise their united voice, shall bless, glorify, praise, and exalt with the spirit of faith, with the spirit of wisdom, and the spirit of long suffering, with the spirit of mercy, with the spirit of judgment and peace, and with the spirit of benevolence. All shall say with a united voice, blessed is he, and the name of Yahuwah Sabaoth shall be blessed forever and ever. All who sleep not shall bless it in heaven above. All the holy in heaven shall bless it. All the elect who dwell in the garden of life, and every spirit of light who is capable of blessing, glorifying, exalting, and praising your holy name. and all flesh, more than the powers, shall glorify and bless your name forever and ever. For great is the mercy of Yahuwah Sabaoth. Long suffering is he in all his works, all his power. Great as are the things which he has done, he has revealed to the holy ones and to the elect in the name of Yahuwah Sabaoth. Okay, y'all, so that is Enoch, our reading for today. That was chapter 58 through 61. All right. So now let's jump on over here and pick up where we left off at yesterday. I'm gonna have to keep some Carmex or something right here. My lips be getting dry. My mouth be getting dry. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay, so remember we stopped with the end of how Moses was interceding for the people yesterday, right? Okay, so now we pick up with the inscrutable ways of Yahuwah. Listen to this, y'all. It's so good. It's so good. I know I say that about everything. It's all just so good to me. It just is. Okay. Moses still cherished 3 other wishes: that the Shekinah might dwell with Israel, that the Shekinah might not dwell with other nations, and lastly, that he might learn to know the ways of Yahuwah, whereby he ordained good and evil in the world, sometimes causing suffering to the just and letting the unjust enjoy happiness, whereas at other times both were happy or both were destined to suffer. Moses laid these wishes before Yahuwah in the moment of his wrath. Yahuwah bade Moses wait until his wrath should have blown over. I'm sorry. And if y'all are following along, we're on page 283. I'm sorry. At volume 3, page 283. Moses laid these wishes before Yahuwah in the moment of his wrath. Hence, Yahuwah bade Moses wait until his wrath should have blown over, and then he granted him his first 2 wishes in full, but his third only in part only. Yahuwah showed him the great treasure troves in which are stored up the various rewards for the pious and the just, explaining each separate one to him in detail. And this were the rewards of those who give alms. In that one, those who bring up orphans. In this way, he showed him the destination of each one of the treasures, until at length they came to one gigantic size. For whom is this treasure? Asked Moses. And let's go to the next page, 284. And Yahuwah answered, out of the treasures that I have shown thee, I give rewards to those who have deserved them by their deeds. But out of this treasure do I give to those who are not deserving. For I am gracious to those also who may lay no claim to my graciousness. And I am bountiful to those who are not deserving of my bounty. Yahuwah is good to the just and the unjust. He said, I'm good to all. Moses now had to content himself with the certainty that the pious were sure of their deserts. However, learning from Yahuwah how it is sometimes come to pass that evildoers too are happy. For Yahuwah merely stated that he also shows himself kind to those who do not deserve it, but without further assigning the why and the wherefore. But the reward to the pious too was only in part revealed to him, for he beheld the joys of paradise of which they were to partake, but not the real reward that is to follow the feast in paradise. For truly I have not seen beside Yahuwah what he hath prepared for him that waiteth for him. That sounds familiar, don't it? Yep. I believe that's in Isaiah, right? Don't quote me on that. I think it's in Isaiah. I think that verse is in Isaiah. By means of the following incident, Yahuwah showed Moses how little man is able to fathom the inscrutable ways of Yahuwah. When Moses was on Sinai, he saw from that station a man who betook himself to a river, stooped down to drink, lost his purse or his wallet, and without noticing it, went on his way. Shortly after, another man came, found the money, pocketed, and took it to his heels. When the owner of the purse became aware of his loss, he returned to the water where he did not find his money, but saw a man who came there by chance to fetch water. To him he said, Restore to me the money that a little while ago I left here, for none can have taken it but thou. When the man declared that he had found none of the money nor seen any of it, the owner slew him. Looking with horror and amazement on this injustice on the earth, Moses said to Yahuwah, I beseech thee, show me thy ways. Why has this man who was quite innocent been slain? And why have the true thief gone unpunished? Listen to this, y'all. And this made me start thinking about a lot of stuff. Some things, and granted, sometimes we catch the tail end of stories, even with videos that are uploaded. Sometimes we catch the reaction to things that have happened, and now we're full-blown in a rage about something that we don't even know the full story to, right? Listen to this. Yahuwah is about to tell Moses about the full story, of which he caught the tail end of what happened. Good morning, Aunt Nini. Listen to this. I'll repeat what Moses said. Moses said to Yahuwah, I beseech thee, show me thy ways. Why has this man who was quite innocent been slain? And why hath the true thief gone unpunished? Yahuwah replied, The man who found the money and kept it merely recovered his own possession. For he who had lost the purse by the river had formerly stolen it from him. But the one who seemed to be innocently slain is only making atonement for having at one time murdered the father of his slayer. In this way, Yahuwah granted the request of Moses to show him his ways, in part only. He let him look into the future and let him see every generation and its sages, every generation and its prophets, every generation and its expounders of the scriptures, every generation and its leaders, every generation and its pious men. But when Moses said, O Lord of the world, let me see by what law thou dost govern the world, for I see that many a just man is lucky, but many as one is not. Many a wicked man is lucky, but many a one is not. Many a rich man is happy, but many a one is not. Many a poor man is happy, but many a one is not. Then Yahuwah answered, Thou canst not grasp all the principles which I apply to the government of the world, but some of them shall I impart to thee. When I see a human being who have no claim to the expectation from me, either from their own deeds or for those of their fathers, but who pray to me and implore me, then do I grant their prayers and give them what they require from substance. Although Yahuwah had now granted all of his wishes, still Moses received the following answer to his prayer. I beseech thee, show me thy glory. Thou mayest not behold my glory, or else thou would perish. But in consideration of my vow to grant thee all thy wishes, and in view of the fact that thou art in possession of the secret of my name, I will meet thee so far as to satisfy thy desire in part. Lift the opening of the cave, and I will bid the angels that serve me pass in review before thee. But as soon as thou hearest the name which I have revealed to thee, know then that I am there, and bear thyself bravely and without fear. Yahuwah has a reason for not showing his glory to Moses. He said to him, when I revealed myself to thee in the burning, oh gosh, y'all, listen to this. Oh, and may we be mindful of our words that we speak to y'all. Listen to this. Listen to this. Yahuwah has a reason for not showing his glory to Moses. He said to him, when I revealed myself to thee in the burning bush, thou didst not want to look upon me. Now thou art willing, but I am not.
Wow. That is awesome.
I know, right? That shook up my soul yesterday when I was reading. It just caused chills to flow through my body. He said, now thou art willing, but I am not. I'm going to read that again. Y'all. And I'm going to keep going. Yahuwah has good reason for not showing his glory to Moses. He said to him, When I revealed myself to thee in the burning bush, thou didst not want to look upon me. Now thou art willing, but I am not. All right, now it's about to go into the 13 attributes of Yahuwah. In the cave in which Moses concealed himself, while Yahuwah passed in review before him with his celestial retinue, was the same in which Elijah lodged when Yahuwah revealed himself to him on Horeb. If there had been in it an opening, even as tiny as a needle's point, both Moses and Elijah would have been consumed by the passing divine light, which was of an intensity so great, although quite shut off in the cave, nevertheless caught the reflection of it, so that from its radiance his face began to shine. Not without great danger, however, did Moses earn this distinction, for as soon as the angels heard Moses' request to Yahuwah to show him his glory, they were greatly incensed against him, and said to Yahuwah, we who serve thee night and day may not see thy glory, and he who was born of a woman asked to see it. In their anger they made ready to kill Moses, who would have certainly perished had not Yahuwah's hand of protection was upon him. Then Yahuwah appeared in the cloud. It was the 7th time he had appeared on earth, and taken the guise of a precentor. Hold on. Let me read that again. I think I screwed that word up. Precentor. It was the 7th time that he appeared on earth, and taken the guise of a precentor of a congregation. He said to Moses, whenever Israel have sinned and called me by the following 13 attributes, I will forgive them their sins. Y'all got it highlight this, y'all. This is so good. Whenever Israel have sinned, remember Israel, if you're lacking information, Israel is Yahuwah's people, right? His people. And I'm not going to say not the tenants who currently reside over in the created state by the Balfour Declaration, because some of them have turned to Yah. But they're Yahuwah's true people. The bloodline is still scattered to the four corners of the earth, of which I descend from, right? Listen to this. Whenever Israel have sinned and called me by the following 13 attributes, I will forgive them their sins. I am the Almighty God who provides for all creatures. I am the merciful one who restrains evil from humankind. I am the gracious one who helps in time of need. I am the long-suffering to the upright as well as to the wicked. I am bountiful to those who own deed. I am bountiful to those whose own deeds do not entitle them to lay claim to rewards. I am faithful to those who have a right to expect good from me, and preserve graciousness unto the 2000th generation. I forgive misdeeds and even atrocious actions, in forgiving those who repent. When Moses heard this, and particularly that Yahuwah is long-suffering with sinners, he prayed, O forgive then Israel's sin which they committed in worshiping the golden calf. Listen to this. Had Moses now prayed, forgive the sins of Israel unto the end of all time, Yahuwah would have granted that too, as it was a time of mercy. But as Moses asked forgiveness for this one sin only, this one only was pardoned. And Yahuwah said, I have pardoned according to thy word. May Yahuwah forgive the sins of Israel for all time. If he ain't said, I'm saying it. I'm going to say it every day to the mercy cloud till we get into that sweet spot. It's going to be one day we're going to hit it. Father, may you forgive the sins of Israel for all times until the end of time. The day on which Yahuwah showed himself merciful to Moses and to his people was the 10th day of Tishrei, the day on which Moses was to receive the tables of the law from Yahuwah for the second time. Now all Israel spent it amid prayer and fasting, that the evil spirit might not again lead them astray. So remember, Moses went up to the mountain twice for 40 days. A lot of time, if we're not paying attention, we'll just think he went up one time 40 days. He was up the first 40 days, and when he came back, remember, about the afternoon of the 40th day, Satan showed up and showed a vision to all the people who saw Moses floating dead, and they thought Moses had died. And they said, "Oh, the man is dead. We need a God," So that's when they got to work all this foolishness, right? Listen. So this time, this 40 days, they got smart, and I'm sure Moses had a lot to do with. Listen, this is what y'all need to do. I got to go back again for 40 days. Y'all need to be praying and fasting. So, we talk about praying and fasting a lot. It's really good. It'll help you. It'll keep you from being deceived, people. And even if you're in a deceived state, you will become undeceived during this time of prayer and fasting. Put that flesh to death, y'all. Okay, listen, I'll read that again. On the day which Yahuwah himself showed himself merciful to Moses and to his people was the 10th day of Tishrei, the day on which Moses was to receive the tables of the law from Yahuwah for the second time. And all of Israel spent it amid prayer and fasting, that the evil spirit might not again lead them astray. Their ardent tears and exhortations, joined with those of Moses, reached heaven, so that Yahuwah took pity upon them and said to them, "My children, I swear by my lofty name that these your tears shall be tears of rejoicing for you, that this day shall be a day of pardon, of forgiveness, and of counseling of sins for you, for your children and your children's children, to the end of all generations." This day was not set for the annual Day of Atonement, without which the world could not exist, and which will continue even in the future world, when all other holy days will cease to be. The Day of Atonement, however, is not only a reminiscence of the day on which Yahuwah was reconciled to Israel and forgave them their sins, but it also was the day on which Israel finally received the Torah. For Moses has spent 40 days in prayer until Yahuwah finally forgave Israel their sins. He began to reproach himself for having broken the tables of the law, saying, "Israel asked me to intercede for them before Yahuwah, but who will, on the account of my sin, intercede before Yahuwah for my sake?" Then Yahuwah said to him, "Grieve not the loss of the first 2 tablets, which contain only the 10 commandments. The second tables that I am now ready to give thee shall contain the Halakot, the Midrash, and the Haggadot." I'm sorry, y'all. I forgot to let me make myself a note here. I forgot to get the translations of what these are. I've heard it. I heard it, the Midrash, but I need to explain to you what those contain, right? Okay. At the new moon of the month of Elul, Moses had the trumpet sounded throughout the camp, announcing to the people that he would once more betake himself to Yahuwah for 40 days to receive the second tables from him, so that they might not be alarmed by his absence. And he stayed in heaven until the 10th day of Tishrei, on which he returned with the Torah and delivered it to Israel. All right, y'all. I'm about to read about the second tables. Whereas the first tables had been given on Mount Sinai amid great ceremonies, the presentation of the second tables took place quietly. For Yahuwah said, "There is nothing lovelier than quiet humility." The great ceremonies on the occasion of presenting the first tables had the evil effect of directing an evil eye toward them, so that they were finally broken. And this also were the second tables differentiated from the first, that the former were the work of Yahuwah, and the latter the work of man. Yahuwah dealt with Israel like the king who took himself to wife and drew up a marriage contract with his own hand. The day the king noticed his wife engaged in very intimate conversation with a slave, and enraged at her unworthy conduct, he turned her out of his house. And then he who had given the bride away at the wedding came before the king and said to him, "O sire, dost thou not know whence thou didst take thy bride? She had been brought up among slaves, and hence is intimate with them." The king allowed himself to be appeased, saying to the other, "Take paper and let a scribe draw up a new marriage contract." And here, take my authorization, signed in my own hand. Just so did Israel fare with their God when Moses offered the following excuse for their worship of the golden calf. O Lord, O Lord, dost thou not know whence thou hast brought Israel out of the land of idolaters? Yahuwah replied, Thou desirest me to forgive them. Well then, I shall do so. Now fetch me hither tablets on which I may write the words that were written on the first. But to reward thee for offering up thy life for their sake, I shall in the future send among thee. Listen. Hold on. Pay attention, y'all. Listen to this. I forgot this was coming up. Listen. And listen. But to reward thee for offering up thy life for their sake, I shall in the future send thee along with Elijah, that both of you together may prepare Israel for the final deliverance. Did y'all catch that? I'm going to just stay quiet for a second. See if anybody caught that. Let me read it again. But to reward thee for offering up thy life for their sake, I shall in the future send thee along with Elijah, that both of you together may prepare Israel for the final deliverance, right? We got a final deliverance coming up, right? It's also known as the second Exodus. You ever heard about the two witnesses? The two witnesses? People talk about the two witnesses, and they kind of speculate on who the two witnesses are going to be. It says right here that the two witnesses will be Elijah and Moses, right? Okay. I shall hold on, listen, remember, I know it's in the New Testament, but remember when they was up on what mountain? They were up away with JC, and they saw a vision, and they saw him standing there talking to, I believe it was Moses and Elijah. Was it Moses and Elijah? Or what? I got to double check. I ain't read it in a little while. But I'm gonna go back to there. But anyway, right here. In the future, I shall send thee along with Elijah, that both of you together may prepare Israel for the final deliverance. So remember, when Israel comes out of this last captivity, it's going to be the last time that that's going to have to be done. Israel will not go into captivity ever again. Moses fetched the tables out of a diamond quarry, which Yahuwah pointed out to him, and the chips that fell during the hewing from the precious stone made a rich man of Moses, so that now he possessed all the qualifications of a prophet: wealth, strength, humility, and wisdom. In regard to the last name, be it said that Yahuwah gave Moses. In regard to the last name, hold on, that didn't make sense. Okay, I think I know what it says. In regard to the last one named, be it said that Yahuwah has given Moses charge of all 50 gates of wisdom except one. Okay. As the chips falling from the precious stone were designed for Moses alone, so too had originally the Torah written on these tablets been intended only for Moses and his descendants, but he was benevolent of spirit and imparted the Torah to Israel. The wealth that Moses procured for himself in fashioning the Torah was a reward for having taken charge of the corpse of Joseph, while all the people were appropriating to themselves the treasures of the Egyptians. Yahuwah now said, Moses deserves the chips from the tables. Israel, who did not occupy themselves with the labors of piety, carried off the best of Egypt at the time of their exodus. Shall Moses, who saw the corpse of Joseph, remain poor? Next page. Therefore, I will make him rich through these chips. During the 40 days he spent in heaven, Moses received, besides the 2 tables, all the Torah, the Bible, Mishnah, Talmud, and the Haggadot. Even all that ever clever scholars would ask their teacher was revealed to him. When he now received the command from Yahuwah to teach all of this to Israel, he requested Yahuwah to write down all the Torah and to give it to Israel in that way. But Yahuwah said, "Gladly would I give them the whole in writing, but it is revealed before me that the nations of the world will hereafter read the Torah, translated into Greek, and will say, we are true Israel." Oh my gosh, I forgot this was coming. Listen to this. Listen. Okay. This answers a few of the questions that as true Israel is waking up and coming to themselves, like he said in that day, they're going to begin to wake up and come to themselves, and they're going to begin to cry out to me in their captivity, and they're going to return to me. They're going to return to my commands, right? Listen, and we're going to start asking them questions like, wait a minute. Why they got this? Why they calling themselves by our name? And we're going to listen. Okay. This is why Yahuwah allowed all our ancient writings to be split up and be scattered all over the place, just like we were scattered. Oh, he's so wise. He's so wise. We down here ready to fight people because they claiming our scriptures, but Yahuwah in his wisdom foresaw all of this. So now, as I understand this stuff, I just sit back and take a chill pill. I really do, because I was ready to cut some ears. When he now received the command from Yahuwah to teach all this to Israel, he requested Yahuwah to write down all the Torah and to give it to Israel in that way. But Yahuwah said, "Gladly would I give them the whole in writing, but it is revealed before me that the nations of the world will hereafter read the Torah, translate it into Greek, and will say, we are the true Israel. We are the children of God. Then I shall say to the names, ye claim to be my children. Do ye not know what those only are my children whom I have..." Hold on. That's a long sentence. Let me read that slow. "Then I will say to the nations, you claim to be my children. Do ye not know that those who only are my children, to whom I have confided my secret, the oral teaching?" This was the reason why the Pentateuch was only given to Moses in writing, and the other parts of the Torah by word of mouth. Henceforth the covenant of Yahuwah made with Israel reads, "I gave ye a written and an oral Torah. My covenant with you says that ye shall study the written Torah as a written thing, and the oral as an oral. But in case you confound the one with the other, you will not be rewarded. For the Torah's sake alone have I made a covenant with you, and had ye not accepted the Torah, I would not have acknowledged you before all other nations. Before you accepted the Torah, you were just like all the other nations, and for the Torah's sake alone have I lifted you above the others. Even your king, Moses, owes the distinction he enjoys in this world and in the world hereafter to the Torah alone. Had you not accepted the Torah, then should I have dissolved the upper and the underworlds into chaos. Remember? We read this. Remember when they was about to accept, he was about to ask them, did they accept? But while they were accepting, the angels, it said they picked up a mountain and held it over their heads, because if they didn't accept it, there would have been no one else left to present the Torah to, because before he presented his laws, his instructions, and his commands, his ways of living to keeping this earth so that they can continue to be blessed, so things can operate how he created them to operate, he literally gave them the manufacturer's manual for how this place is to operate here. There was nobody else to give that to, because all the other nations that he had gone to before he went to Israel said, we do not want your Torah. We do not want your instruction. So if the last people group, which was Israel, that he had gone to, had they say, no, we don't want your Torah either, he said the world was going to go back into chaos. But blessed be the most holy in his foresight that saw Israel would say, yes, we accept, we would do, and we will keep all that you say. Oh my gosh, I descend from them people. Had you not accepted the Torah, then should I have dissolved the upper and the underworlds into chaos. 40 days and 40 nights Moses now devoted to the 40 days and 40 nights Moses now devoted to the study of Torah And in all the time he ate no bread and drank no water, acting in accordance with the proverb, if thou enterest a city, observe its laws. The angels followed this maxim when they visited Abraham, for they there ate like men, and so did Moses, who being among angels, like the angels, partook of no food. He received nourishment from the radiance of the Shekinah, which also sustains the holy Hayat that bear the throne. The holy Hayat that bear the throne. He received nourishment from radiance of the Shekinah, which also sustains the holy Hayat that bear the throne. Moses spent the day in learning the Torah from Yahuwah, and the night in repeating what he had learned. Okay. Moses spent the day in learning the Torah from Yahuwah, and the night in repeating what he had learned. In this way, he set an example for Israel that they might occupy themselves with the Torah by night and by day. During this time, Moses also wrote down the Torah, although the angels found it strange that Yahuwah should have given him the commission to write down the Torah, and gave expression to their astonishment in the following words that they addressed to Yahuwah. How is it that thou givest Moses permission to write, so that he may write whatever he will, and say to Israel, I gave you the Torah, I myself wrote it, and then I gave it to you? But Yahuwah answered, far be it from Moses to do such a thing. He is a faithful servant. When Moses had complete the writing of the Torah, he wiped his pen on the hair of his forehead, and from this heavenly ink that cleaved to his forehead originated the beams of light that radiated from it. In this way, Yahuwah fulfilled to Moses the promise, before all thy people I will do marvels, such as have not been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. On Moses' return from heaven, the people were greatly amazed to see his face shining, and there was fear too in their amazement. This fear was a consequence of their sin, for formerly they had not been able to bear without fear the sight of the glory of Yahuwah that was like a devouring fire, although it consisted of 7 sheaths of fire laid one over another. But after their transgression, they could not even bear to look upon the countenance of the man who had been the intermediator between themselves and Yahuwah. But Moses quieted them and instantly set about imparting to the people the Torah he had received from Yahuwah. His method of instruction was as follows. First came Aaron, to whom he imparted the word of Yahuwah. And as soon as he had finished with Aaron, came the sons of Aaron, Eleazar and Ithamar, and he instructed them, while Aaron sat at his right hand listening. When he had finished with the sons of Aaron, the elders appeared to receive instruction, while Eleazar sat at the right hand of his father, and Ithamar to the left hand of Moses, and listened. And when he had finished with the elders, the people came and received instruction, whereupon Moses withdrew. Then Aaron went over what had been taught, and his sons likewise, and the elders, until every one, from Aaron down to every man out of the people, had 4 times repeated what he had learned. For in this way had Yahuwah bidden Moses to impress the Torah 4 times upon Israel. And that, my people, is our reading for today. And we're going to stop right here. And tomorrow, we'll pick it back up. All right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the reading for today. We read Enoch chapter 58 through chapter 61. And in the Legends of the Jews, we read volume 3. Volume 3, page 284 to 286. All right, y'all. And I always put that in the comment section. So let's go ahead right on over here and hop to the blessing, so we can all get about our Sunday. Remember, the blessing is found in Numbers chapter 6.
Mommy, I know what that says.
What one?
First, double check.
Oh, yeah, double check. Yeah, I know. I had to double check it. I hit the wrong button. Okay, remember the first 21 verses of Numbers chapter 6, everybody, is the Nazarite law. And the blessing begins at verse 22 all the way to the end of the chapter, verse 27. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. YouTube just shut off. Hold on. Oh, it came back on. I don't know what just happened there. It completely shut off. And I think it's coming back in. It says recording. I'm sorry, YouTube. But they missed the end of the blessing. So let me just say it again. I don't know. It don't say it's recording, but the time is rolling. And I can't see anything.
Mom, that says welcome to live chat.
Yes, it does, baby. Okay, well, let's do the blessing again. Because it says it's still rolling. But I can't see it. But I'm going to do it again. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. I don't know. It's shenanigans going on with YouTube. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if you can see me or what. All right, y'all. I love y'all. And I see y'all bright and early in the morning, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Bye.